All right, let's just jump right in. Think about it. Our world is so noisy, right? Every single empty space, every pause, we just rush to fill it with, well, with words. But today, we're going to talk about something that's super easy to overlook, but holds this incredible, almost hidden power, and that's silence. We're going to see that it's not just, an absence of sound. It's actually a force that can literally reshape our minds, our relationships, and even how we see ourselves. So here's a question for you. And really think about it. When was the last time you sat in total silence? I'm talking no phone buzzing, no music in the background, no one talking, just you and the quiet. How'd that feel? Was it peaceful? Or maybe, just maybe, a little bit awkward, a little uncomfortable? Whatever that feeling was, just kind of hold on to it for a bit. That pause we just took, that's what this is all about. It's more than just quiet, it's this incredibly powerful tool. We're about to see how it can literally shape your relationships, kickstart your creativity, and, this is the wild part, even help heal your mind. I know, that sounds a little dramatic, but the science backing it up is surprisingly solid. And it really all starts right up here, inside our own heads. The science of quiet is it's fascinating. It shows that silence isn't this passive, empty thing. Nope, it's actively changing our brain, and for the better. So, how long do you think it takes to actually feel these effects? You're probably thinking, oh, I've got to meditate for hours, right? Well, get this. Neuroscientists found it's way shorter than you'd expect. All it takes is 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes of silence can actually lower your blood pressure and sharpen your focus. That's it, 120 seconds. Okay, so what is actually going on in your brain during those 2 minutes? Well, silence kicks on something called the default mode network. The easiest way to think about it is like your brain's creative engine, or its self-reflection mode. When all that constant noise from the outside world finally stops, this network just fires right up. It's what lets you process memories, daydream, and connect ideas in totally new ways. It's basically where all those aha moments come from. So, really, at its core, silence is like hitting a mental reset button. We're constantly bombarded with information, right? This just gives your brain a chance to breathe, to clear the slate, lighten the load, and just kind of rewire itself for a bit of clarity and calm. Okay, so we've seen what it does inside our heads. Now let's talk about how we can use this out in the world in our everyday conversations. Because silence isn't just for you, by yourself. It's honestly one of the most powerful and probably most underused tools we have for communication. Come on, you know the feeling, right? That moment in a conversation where it just goes quiet. And there's this immediate, almost panicky feeling to just say something, anything to fill the gap. But that impulse, it usually comes from a fear of things being awkward, and it just rushes everything. Now, look at the flip side. When you intentionally create that space, when you let that silence hang there for a second, it shows you're actually paying attention. It gives the other person room to think, to really share. And you know what? That's often when the most important stuff comes out. And this isn't just some nice theory, by the way. Think about who really masters this skill. We're talking about the best communicators, the sharpest negotiators, the most insightful interviewers. They all use silence as a strategy. They know that sometimes a pause can be way more persuasive than a big argument. It can get you more information than asking another question. And this really gets to the heart of it. Sometimes what's not said, well, that tells you everything you need to know. A single moment of quiet can show you hesitation, it can be a sign of agreement, or it can convey an emotion so deep that words would just get in the way. And this is where things get even deeper. Because when you start to practice this intentionally, silence stops feeling empty. It starts to feel like presence. It really becomes a path toward genuine personal growth. It really is like a doorway to transformation. For centuries, you've had monks, artists, deep thinkers. They've all looked for silence. But not just for the quiet itself, but for what the quiet reveals. Because it's in those moments, when everything else fades away, that we can finally hear our own inner voice. So what do we actually get out of this practice? Well, for one, it teaches us patience, which is kind of rare in a world that wants an answer right now. For another, when you really listen to the quiet spaces between words, your empathy for other people just deepens. And maybe most importantly, it teaches us how to listen to ourselves, to our own gut feelings, our own needs. All right, so we've talked about the science, we've talked about the art of it. Now it's time to make this real for you. Let's talk about putting silence into practice with a super simple, totally doable challenge. So here it is. We're calling it the 5-minute challenge. Sometime today, I want you to find a spot where you know you won't be interrupted. Okay, now set a timer for just 5 minutes. Phone away, everything off, and just sit. Don't try to meditate, don't try to solve problems, just be. And when that timer dings, just grab a pen and paper and write down how you felt. That's it. It's really that simple. And as you go to try that, I want to leave you with one last thought to chew on. We're so used to thinking of silence as an absence, right? A void, an emptiness. But what if we just flipped that idea on its head? What if silence isn't empty at all? What if it's actually full? Full of everything we normally miss in all the noise? What might you find in that presence?